Yes, what's up, everybody? It's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight on the show, Shinsuke Nakamura is the new Intercontinental Champion. We're recapping Smackdown, Baron Corbin stealing the Money in the Bank briefcase, and AEW Rampage debut episode. I'm watching it live here on my phone, because that's how we have to watch it here in Canada. Let's go. These goddamn apps, nobody knows how to work this thing, Johnny. Nobody knows where AEW Rampage is even at tonight. Here in Canada, it's not easy. You got to do a little digging. You got to figure it out. Tonight was a very difficult night to be a Canadian wrestling fan, let me tell you. Sportsnet, Fox, TSN, none of those bitches making it easy to watch this wrestling TV. It's supposed to be TV. I thought AEW got TV deals. I thought WWE was supposed to be a TV company. I turn on my local Fox station. They're airing a preseason NFL game tonight. My PVR wasn't taping SmackDown. I was pissed. I'm still pissed. And then Sportsnet, all the Sportsnets are airing the same goddamn tennis match. It's like 6 different Sportsnet channels. East, West, Pacific, North, South, whatever the fuck. And it's goddamn tennis on every single channel. And TSN doesn't even have the respect for wrestling fans to even air the debut episode of AEW Rampage on TV. It's right now on the TSN app that I had to download just to watch this stupid show. I mean, it's 2 of the greatest Canadian wrestlers of all time. You would think a Canadian sports channel might want to air it instead of the same CFL game on 3 different channels, TSN. They're airing literally the same CFL game on 3 different channels. I think that they could afford to put one of these, one of the channels on their goddamn wrestling.
I don't disagree with you. I said the same thing. 5 channels. You could do something with that.
I'm just telling you, Canadian sports media does not respect you, pro wrestling fans. I've been in Canadian sports media. I've been around these people. They don't respect pro wrestling. They're all huge marks. They all come to me, was that real? They're all watching. They're all paying attention. They don't know what the fuck it is. They're confused. They're big fans. But a lot of them are like, was that real? What was that? What's going on there? They all want to talk about it, but they don't want to show any respect to it. Because their bosses don't want them talking about it. All the guys that are talking about stuff, they like wrestling. The pencil neck geek bosses, the corporate pencil pushers, those nerds, they don't want to hear from wrestling. And that's why Sportsnet didn't run SmackDown tonight, and that's why TSN isn't running Rampage. Debut episode with Christian and Kenny Omega wrestling right now for a championship, the Impact World title. It's not on TV because TSN doesn't respect you. They don't respect professional wrestling. Believe me.
But I saw that you tweeted. I saw that you tweeted though that apparently next week it is going to air.
It's going to air on a 1-hour tape delay on TSN. On their app, they'll air it live at 10, but on their TV channel, they can't find one of their 6 different channels to air AEW Rampage live. They're going to air it on a tape delay. It'll be on at 11 p.m. instead of 10 when it's actually happening. You get to see CM Punk's debut an hour after it happens. Congratulations, Canada. Watch it on the app, which, by the way, I tried on Firefox, I tried on Safari, I'm trying on all the browsers. Doesn't work for shit on any of my browsers. Trying to jump onto TSN on a browser, forget about it. I have to do it on the stupid app that I had to download. That's probably not a coincidence, right? They want you to download that app. Bell Media is a big scam. They're trying to scam you every step of the way. TSN, Bell Media, the whole goddamn show. They're trying to fuck you every step of the way. And their own people. For that almighty dollar. They don't give a shit about pro wrestling. They really don't. I'm pissed.
Well, it's a
This is how we're
shame.
starting the show. I'm pissed because I'm a Canadian wrestling fan, and I got totally shafted tonight. SmackDown and Rampage, not even on TV. So you could air some goddamn tennis and goddamn CFL? CFL? C-League football? Fucking arena football is more important than this shit. Who gives a fuck about the CFL? CFL is a joke, all right? Check yourself if you take CFL seriously. It's a motherfucking joke. CFL on 3 different channels instead of Kenny Omega. Get out of here.
Well, I won't get into this big CFL debate with you. Like, I know friends that like have season tickets to CFL games, so
Why?
not gonna get in it.
So they can watch college football rejects play around a big field? Well, why? Why does anybody watch CFL? I never understood that. I thought it was just guys that couldn't make the NFL. Who cares? I don't want to watch anybody that's B level. I want to watch the best in the world. I want to watch Kenny Omega. I'm not trying to watch some Canadian guy who can kind of catch a football. He's only on the team because he's Canadian. Fuck out of here. You have to have a certain number of Canadians. Well, they suck. They suck at football. Ridiculous.
Well, I don't know how much of the Christian Kenny match you've been paying attention to, but I'd say so far this would be the match of the night.
Well, Rampage just started. You mean... Oh.
From what we saw in SmackDown.
Yeah.
You saw SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm seeing some people that like CFL. Derek John, Douglas Hepburn. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can like CFL all you want. I'm just telling you, it's B-League football, and you know it. It's B-League. It's not the NFL. It's C-League, really. It's like, if you want to talk American football, it's like NFL, college football, and then CFL maybe, right? As far as the level of play and the actual talent. Let's be real. I'm not interested in, like, C-level sports. Just because it's in Canada doesn't mean I want to watch it. I don't like C-level anything. I'm not interested. I don't want to watch the CFL just like I don't want to watch the MLS. It's fucking C-level. I'm not interested in seeing guys that are kind of good at a sport play in a league. Why? I don't watch NXT either. Same reason. Fucking D-level shit. It's not the top of the level, top of the game. It's not WrestleMania. It's fucking NXT TakeOver.
You don't watch a lot of NFL anyway, so yeah, of course you're not going to want to watch CFL. If you,
I wouldn't watch that either.
You're not even interested. Yeah, there you go. So you're not a football fan, really. Like,
no, I'm a wrestling fan, and I'm pissed off when they show the same football game on 3 channels and they'll show wrestling. That's my main point. This match has been pretty good. Kenny just hit a really nice moonsault. Yeah, from what I've been able to see, this has been pretty good. You weren't impressed with anything we saw on SmackDown tonight?
I thought the first match was really good. I really liked Nakamura and Apollo Crews. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And that's as good as we got. It didn't get any better than that.
Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin wasn't so bad.
I wouldn't say it was great. I wasn't like, wow, on the edge of my seat in that match whatsoever. And I didn't like the idea of starting off with a stunner and then let's start the match.
Yeah.
Really kind of made it seem like the stunner is like a garbage move now.
Well, you hit it in the promo before the commercial.
Right. But like Corbin wasn't really selling any effects towards it. Didn't really hurt him at all during the match. I don't know. If I'm Austin, I wouldn't be too happy about that.
Whatever. Austin, I mean, at this point, the stunner is no longer his. He can't really claim ownership or get mad about anybody using it. But yeah, Kevin Owens hits the stunner on him in a promo there. Kevin says, if you beat me, Baron Corbin, I'll give you $1,000. Corbin's asking all the fans for a minimum $1,000 donation, which is what we were asking for, too, tonight on the Super Chat, so if you will. Just saying.
I didn't see someone wrote about the Apollo Crews graphics. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat saying, Johnny, sun's out, guns out. We're in the tank there, Big Johnny.
It is hot today, no question.
Yeah, it's super hot.
I would say hottest day of the year.
Yeah,
No question.
I'm just mad. I think the heat is making me extra pissed off. I'm super pissed tonight. I got to tell you, John. I'm
I think
just
you'd
enraged.
be pissed anyways. You just be upset because it's a crummy situation. I understand.
It's fucking TSN. Such a garbage network overall. So terrible. In so many ways. I could really go in on TSN, but I'm not going to. So Kevin Owens beats Baron Corbin. So Corbin, had he won, Kevin Owens would have given him $1,000. No fans gave Corbin any money. And then Kevin Owens says, well, Corbin, if I beat you, then you can no longer ask the fans for money, which I don't think it's been something he's really been doing. He's mostly just been asking other wrestlers for money. So whatever with that stipulation, I don't know. Kevin beats him with a sunset flip. Pins him with a sunset flip. And then he hit another stunner after the match. Not only does he finish the promo before the commercial break with a stunner, we come back from commercial break, they have their match, sunset flip, and then a stunner after the match from Kevin Owens. But yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd say Apollo Crews and Shinsuke Nakamura probably the match of the night on SmackDown. And I would also agree that Christian and Kenny Omega are having the match of the night overall right now. Christian just went for the frog splash, hit a 2 count on Kenny. Near fall there on Kenny. Kenny's hit his V-trigger for a near fall as well. Uh-oh, here comes Don Callis. Oh, Kenny with a low blow on Christian with the referee distracted. Is that referee Brian Hebner?
I believe
Impact?
so.
It is, eh? It's Earl's
Impact, yeah.
son or nephew or something, right? Huh?
I believe son.
Is he? Yeah. And the Bucks, my God, this is a long distraction. The Bucks,
it's the usual Kenny thing.
After Kenny low blows Christian, the Bucks slide a chair into the ring for Kenny to V-trigger or to one-wing angel Christian on, but Christian hits the kill switch on Kenny on the chair, tosses the chair out of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Christian Cage is your new Impact World Champion. Christian just beat Kenny Omega. Here come Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to celebrate. Good God Almighty.
That will get people talking. I think we got title for title now at the pay-per-view.
I said this is what we needed, right? You needed this. We talked about it on Wednesday after Dynamite. You needed Christian to win this match. Otherwise, why have it again at the pay-per-view? Wow. Are you convinced now that they have it at the pay-per-view? I'm still not. Because if Punk shows up next week, what's going to happen? I don't know. It's possible that, it will be Christian versus Kenny. It's very possible. Kenny has just won the Impact and TNA title, that TNA World title that Moose was carrying around. I guess Christian gets that too. He gets 2 belts.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Wow. That was big, man. Christian just beat Kenny. I mean, he hit him with the chair. He hit his finisher on a chair to win, but he still beat him. Kenny doesn't lose very often in one-on-one.
And one of his championships, too, that, he's hasn't lost any championships until tonight.
That's huge for Impact as well. They get Christian back. He's probably going to be showing up on their TV. He's a former Impact World Champion. Yeah. That's good for them.
He's going to be wrestling Kurt Hawkins now. I believe that's the stip for this. If he won, he'd have to be on Impact this Thursday.
Oh.
And he'll have to wrestle Brian Myers, a.k.a. Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, that's cool. So we already know who he's wrestling. Good for Impact, man. Good for Impact. Good for Christian. Good for AEW. It makes everything far more interesting for the pay-per-view on September 5th, All Out, where we will see the rematch, probably with You think all the belts on the line? Does Kenny get them back? Like, what do you foresee happening?
Yeah,
here?
I think that's going to happen. I think this makes Christian what now a 2 or 3 time now TNA champion, because he was TNA champion before.
Yeah, I don't know how many times, but yeah, he definitely was champion there before. He's almost like
This
a
was
TNA
just smart,
original. You know?
Well, remember they brought him back. Remember he was in WWE and they brought him back because that whole thing that happened with Ric Flair, so he could be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So TNA got the favor, and Christian Cage was the favor. So that just shows you how much they respected Christian.
Yeah. He's a big deal for that company. He's got a lot of history there. I mean, don't forget, when Christian left WWE the first time, he was so over, but it was just Cena's time. They were clearly going with Cena, and they were not going to go with Christian, but he was very over as Captain Charisma. And then he decided, okay, I'm just going to go to TNA. He went to TNA, and he became a top guy there. He deserved to be a top guy at that point. It's just WWE wasn't going to make him a top guy, and Christian saw the writing on the wall.
This is very interesting. There's no commercials, which is okay. I'm
not seeing commercials. What are you seeing?
Yeah, it just shows Rampage. It just shows AEW Rampage.
I'm seeing this.
Exact same thing.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I'll show you my screen.
That's all right.
I don't know how much I can show of this without us getting taken off YouTube.
I'd be worried.
Derek John says 3 times now. Thank you, Derek. I trust his math.
I trust his memory.
Franco saying weed can fix that. I think weed can maybe fix the rage that I have going on. Shout out to Franco. Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Douglas. All members of the team that are on the chat right now. Shout out to the guys that are members. Don't forget to join. Become a member. Join. Click that join button beneath me if you're watching on YouTube. Okay? I see AJ's in the chat. Having a couple drinks. Oh, boy.
Take
it easy, wrestling? AJ. Huh?
I find that hard to believe.
AJ,
I find it hard to believe AJ's watching wrestling, but
AJ invited like all of us to like a country place or something tomorrow, but then Fred asked for more details on like, you know, where is it, what's happening, and AJ never responded, so I don't think we're going.
Well,
classic
I guess
AJ.
It doesn't exist.
I don't know. I think it does exist. I think AJ's somewhere, and he like seemed to invite Fred and I, and then Fred was like, okay, we'll send us some info and details, and then we never heard from AJ about details in our group chat, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with AJ. But shout out to AJ and AJ's sister and Lucy. Always shout out to Lucy. Pray for Lucy.
Well, it sounds like it was a family thing, and then he just invited you guys, and then realized, oh, wait, this is a family thing. I should invite people.
I guess. I'm family, though. I am family. Here's Mark Henry interviewing Christian backstage with the Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus behind him celebrating with champagne. Orange Cassidy's in the corner just watching for some reason, though. What's Orange doing there?
He does that.
Does he?
He's always like that. Yeah. He's done that before in promos where he's just randomly there. He's in the bathroom for whatever reason, you know?
He just stands around watching other people do promos? He's not involved?
Whenever they don't really have him in a big role, yeah, they just randomly put him in the show somehow like that.
Weird. I guess an appearance for Orange. Christian talking about Kenny putting him over. What?
You're going to have to tell me what he's saying, because I got on mute, so you're going to have to tell me what the promo's about.
I don't know. He's talking about Kenny. Kenny, I'm going to get you at All Out. I'm going to be the champion. I'm in your head. I can beat you. I beat you just now. Ha, 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 ha. You know. Nothing out of the ordinary.
A little evilish, but okay.
Well, you know, whatever. I embellished a little bit, but kind of, you know, you get the point. I beat you here. I'm going to beat you again. I'm Christian. Oh, Fuego del Sol. Is this a Fuego del Sol promo? Rest in peace, Fuego del Sol. You're going to get the shit kicked out of you by Myro later. That's going to be good. with his wife, who's very attractive, who can do the splits, or hot double-jointed wife, whatever he calls her. Fantastic. Thank you,
I don't
God,
believe
for
Lana
blessing me.
is going to be there.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just saying he talks about her, and he refers to as hot
Right.
and double-jointed, and thank you for blessing me with a hot wife who can do the splits. It's just funny the way he talks about her. Miro. He loves her. He loves his wife.
Super chat. Super chat.
What can you say? What's happening? What's Doug Hepburn saying? AJ, I still haven't seen Sopranos. Should I? What? Yes, of course, Doug, you should see it. And you shouldn't ask AJ, who just started the DVDs of season 1. He just bought them, too. I was wondering, who's still buying DVDs? AJ, apparently. You see them sold places, and I'm like, who's still buying these things? It's AJ. John Cena entered God-level promo tonight. That opening promo was goddamn tremendous. He killed it. Tremendous stuff from John Cena.
Feel the other way around. I thought Roman killed it.
Disagree. Cena saying Roman has a layer of protection around him and no one has a chance. But Cena was the one that was called to make Roman humble and beat him at SummerSlam. Cena talking about how Roman is so protected, how WWE takes care of him. No one really has a shot and no one's really trying. But Cena's a guy who's kind of bigger than Roman, more important than Roman, and he's here now. So he's one of the few guys that actually has a chance of beating him. I thought that was good stuff. I thought Cena destroyed Roman. As much as Roman tried to get his little shots in, I don't think it worked. Roman says 20 years of missionary might have been good enough for him, but it wasn't good enough for Nikki Bella. Roman keeps talking about the missionary, trying to talk about Nikki Bella. Ooh. Although I'm pretty sure it was Cena that ended that whole thing. Cena says Roman was protected by the Shield, almost ruined Seth Rollins, and ran Dean Ambrose out of the WWE. And at SummerSlam, he's going to take the belt and run off into the arena and run away with the championship. He says at SummerSlam, the champ is gone. 1, 2, 3. He was doing that 1, 2, 3 thing quite a bit during the promo. I thought that was just brilliant stuff from John Cena. Roman, he had a couple lines, but I thought overall Cena won that shit big time.
I thought Cena was rattled. You could tell he was a bit flustered a bit after Roman said that Nikki Bella line.
He wasn't flustered. He was like, all right, I'm going to come back at you and I'm going to get you. Roman was like, Cena was making some jokes about Roman before Roman came out, and Roman's like, oh, you're just, making penis jokes, John. That's all you're doing, making dick jokes. And then Cena was like, and then Roman goes and talks about missionary and Nikki Bella, and Cena's like, you're such a hypocrite, Roman. You're saying how I'm stupid and low by using dick jokes while you're talking about sexual performances and past relationships. You're the one stupid to a low level, Roman Reigns. You're the one who has no class or dignity or originality. I thought Cena was brilliant tonight. Great stuff from John Cena. You will never give credit to Cena where it's due, John. That's okay.
Well,
Doug Hepburn says John Cena was good. He didn't say Roman Reigns was good. He said John Cena was good. And he was. Roman was all right, but Cena was like excellent. Excellent.
Well, it's just funny. He talks about this layer of protection and talking about how the back's protecting him. Cena was the same guy. He had the protection as well.
Well, yeah. But he's calling Roman out on it. I mean, Cena was also protected. Nevertheless, I think Cena outdid Roman in the promo tonight. Roman looked flustered. Roman had nothing left. All that stuff, what was so good about what Roman was saying? How he's like, oh, I'm not going to talk down on... He just put Cena over. You're great, John. You're great. You're the best. But you can't beat me. It's like, all right. Wasn't very good.
Well, he's just speaking the truth. Cena's good. He can come back. He can do Hollywood. He can do WWE at the same time. He can come back. He can main event at SummerSlam. He can do all that. He just can't beat Roman Reigns.
Okay. And
you
like
know
this?
that too.
What do you mean?
Because you know it's true. I love it. It's the truth.
No, I think if Cena wanted to and he wanted to come back and he said, look, I'm going to come back. I'd like to have a little run here and be champion. I think they would definitely give it to him.
Yeah, but you know he's not going to have a little run, though.
If he decides to do it. And that's what he's saying. He's like, look, Roman, you could kind of call the shots around here. Vince is going to be in your pocket. But when I come around, he's in my pocket. So if I want to, I can take the title from you. Not in a real way, but by saying, look, I'm John Cena. Give me the belt. And they'll give it to him if he wants it. And that's the point that Cena was making in the promo. Roman may be a big deal, but he's not John Cena. He hasn't reached that level. I'll tell you something. I was at a little get-together with some friends a couple of weeks ago, and they started asking me about wrestling. They started talking to me about Yokozuna, you know? And they're like, Yokozuna, what happened to that guy? He was so big. And I was like, yeah, well, he died, you know? And I was like, he wasn't Japanese. And they're like, what? I mean, they didn't know, right? They weren't real wrestling fans, right?
Right.
So they go, Yokozuna, he's not Japanese? I had no idea. I was like, no, he's a Samoan guy. He's part of the Anoa'i wrestling family. You know, his cousin is The Rock. All these guys are all cousins. Roman Reigns is the cousin. Nobody, they knew who The Rock was. They knew who John Cena was. Nobody there had any clue who Roman Reigns was. They never heard of him. He's not a big star. Cena's a star. Rock's a star. Roman has not transcended. He has not reached the mainstream. He's not that big of a star, and Cena is here to remind him. You may think you're the top dog. You may think you're hot shit. But really, nobody knows you. And I'm John fucking Cena. And if I want to, I'll take it. Anytime, any place. SummerSlam could be the time. He's just planting those doubts in the fans' minds. I don't think in Roman's mind, but maybe a bit. You know pro wrestling, things could always change. And if Cena's sticking around, Roman might be wondering, shit, are they going to take this off of me here? These things could happen. I thought it was a good promo by Cena because he planted some seeds of doubt. I don't think that Cena is going to take the title from Roman at SummerSlam. I believe he's back to put Roman over and have a big match, and then he's going to go off and keep doing movies and whatever. This is a short run for Cena. However, he's been booked for a Smackdown at Madison Square Garden in September, which is after SummerSlam, like 3-4 weeks after SummerSlam. So if they're advertising him for that show, who knows? It's possible he sticks around for 3-4 weeks, and that's all you really need for another title run. Give him that 17th title reign, beat Flair's 16-time thing, especially now since Flair's gone. Like, maybe you want to do that? Have John Cena be the greatest champion of all time? Stranger things have happened. Never bet against John Cena, Johnny North. Never bet against John Cena. You know that. I know it's Roman's era, but still. Cena, man. You can't count him out of any match ever. He's like Hogan. Hogan could come back today and be champion because weird shit happens.
I hope that doesn't happen, but you're not wrong about John Cena in that case. The only thing, though, about the whole Madison Square Garden thing, he is advertised to be there, but he's also advertised for Raw the last couple weeks, and yeah, he's there, but you don't see him on television. I feel that's going to be the case again for Madison Square Garden. It's going to be just for them.
You might be right. You might be right about that. You know, we'll see. Harold Schneider dropping a super chat saying, we know Cena is very short term. Having him there shows the lower quality of the permanent roster. I agree. When Cena shows up, a star is on TV. And then the rest of the show is just like a bunch of like sports entertainers. I can't even call them wrestlers. There are a couple wrestlers on that show, but it's mostly sports entertainers. There's a star in John Cena, and then there's some sports entertainers. What the hell's going on here? Okay, so Fuego del Sol just got beat by Miro.
Yeah.
He came off hot. He got a little offense, but then Miro squashed him, made him tap out to his game over. But Tony Khan just came out with Sammy Guevara and gave Sammy a contract. And I guess this is Sammy's special announcement. His buddy, Fuego del Sol, who's been wrestling for AEW for like a year now without a contract, seems like he's finally going to get an AEW contract here in the ring. And I think this is kind of a surprise. I think this is real. I think they're signing Fuego here, and it's a shoot surprise. Imagine Fuego gets a contract, and he's like, this is kind of a low offer, guys. Could we, negotiate on TV, Fuego? This is your chance, man. Look at the contract, see the number, and be like, can we add 3 more zeros to this, Tony? What's he going to say? No, it's TV.
Yeah, I have a feeling he'll just take it. I mean, even if it was like the lowest contract in history, he'd still take it just because he's going to be on television. So.
Yeah, well, he's been on TV a bit, I guess. So Fuego del Sol gets an AEW contract, which is nice for him. Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express coming up on Wednesday. Oh, Sammy Guevara is going to make another major announcement on Wednesday. Okay, so that wasn't his major announcement.
Ah, good to know.
And then there's MJF versus Jericho also on Dynamite Wednesday. Jericho's on commentary too, by the way, tonight on Rampage. I feel like everybody's on Rampage. 4 of them. Yeah, it's like Jericho, Excalibur,
Taz,
and Mark Henry?
I believe so. Or Mark Henry was an interviewer? I'm not sure.
There's too many guys on commentary. I have no idea. Oh, there's Darby Allin and Sting in the rafters. Oh, no. What are they going to do?
I don't think they're going to wrestle. I think next week, Darby Allin said he's wrestling on Rampage.
Darby and Sting are going to wrestle 2.0 on Wednesday on Dynamite, which is cool. Oh, they're replaying Darby's promo where he's talking about best in the world and all that stuff. The tease for CM Punk. It could very well be Darby versus CM Punk at the pay-per-view. That makes a lot of sense, too. It's a big match.
Yeah, remember he mentioned a bunch of guys that he'd like to wrestle. Darby Allin was one of those guys, so yeah, that's fine.
I think that would be a good one. Darby versus Punk. That'd be fun. Especially for Punk's first match. Because Darby right now is like on fire. He's not having bad matches with anybody. So
yeah.
Punk, you know what I mean? Like Punk's first match, you don't know what it's going to be. With Darby, it's kind of guaranteed to be pretty good. Darby's going to kill himself to make sure it's good, right? Punk doesn't have to take any big bumps because Darby will do it. So that seems like the match, actually. If I was coming back after several years away, like I'd kind of want to wrestle a guy like Darby or Darby, He's one of these guys that's always solid. His matches aren't as good as Darby's.
I'd be interested to see what him and Punk could do. I think that would be obviously promo-wise, but I think that could lead to some good matches.
Yeah, but you might want to build that one a little bit more, like I said, like you said there, with promos. The Punk Darby thing will probably be a 3-week in the making program, 2.5 weeks, so they don't have that much time to set that up for the pay-per-view, and I think the match itself would sell it. I think that's a good match. They're doing a Britt Baker versus Red Velvet promo now. The match should be happening. Event. Yeah, I guess it's a pre-match promo. This match should be coming up imminently, right? Like, doesn't this show end at 11 p.m.? This is a 1-hour show, right? Please don't tell me it's 2 hours.
It's 1 hour.
Thank God. And they do Dark now.
That's what makes this good.
They taped Dark before this show.
Dark and Dark Elevation, apparently.
Oh, yeah? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right, while we go to our last commercial break here, I think for Rampage, let's talk a little bit about SmackDown and what we saw tonight. Shinsuke Nakamura beating Apollo Crews. I'd agree with you. I think that's probably the match of the night. A little surprised to see Nakamura for SmackDown. Christian and Kenny, best wrestling match I've seen tonight.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling, by the way? I mean, before we get to Nakamura as the Intercontinental Champion, how you feeling, by the way, knowing that Friday nights is now 3 hours of wrestling that we're watching? Because I'm a little annoyed, to be honest. It's like, God damn it, man. I gotta watch more wrestling? Like, I'm good. If anybody asked me, like, do you have enough wrestling or would you like more? I'd be like, no, I have enough. I would like a little less, actually. There's a little too much wrestling. Now there's more. I'm a little, it's overkill, man. There's so much wrestling these days. It's like too much wrestling.
It's a lot of wrestling. There's no doubt about it. But this doesn't feel that long, Rampage. The fact that it's almost done already feels like this was like super short and like it's actually been enjoyable. So, but can they keep this up though is the huge question.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is their first show. They're gonna give you something really good to start, but can they keep that going is a big question.
I like their commercial breaks. It's just this. Rampage. We're on a
Oh, it's
commercial.
better than seeing the same like Tim Hortons thing all the time. Yeah.
Goddamn. Tim Hortons. It's another business I don't particularly care for. All sorts of people in Canada are like, Tim Hortons. I don't fucking like Tim Hortons. I think their coffee sucks, and their donuts aren't even good. I don't like Tim Hortons, all right? I don't like it. I don't go there.
We need like a spin-off YouTube series, Dave's Hate List.
Oh
where
my
you just
God.
like list off all the things that he hates.
There's a lot of shit I don't like. Tim Hortons is one of those things I don't like. All the things that you're supposed to like as like a prototypical Canadian, hockey, Tim Hortons, beer. I don't like any of those things. Skating, skiing. No thank
Maple
you.
syrup?
I actually kind of prefer the like regular syrup.
Wow.
I know that's crazy, but I kind of prefer like Aunt Jemima's over maple syrup. People get really mad. They get legit heated when I say that.
Well,
Deal with
weird,
it.
but whatever.
Whatever. It's just
Preference.
It's the way it is.
The preference.
What can I say? It's just who I am. All right? Franco wants to know what's my favorite fast food go-to. Fucking McDonald's, man. Big Mac all day, every day. Johnny was just telling me the other day how he had the Big Mac. What's it called? The Grand Big Mac? What is that?
Yeah.
It's like huge, right? It's like a bigger Big Mac, and you ate 2 of them?
Yep.
Beast. It's good?
It's good, but it's, you're done after that. I think you'll be done after one, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I got to try it. I love Big Macs. I'm a big fan of the Big Mac. I like a Big Mac. I like a Whopper. But if I had a go-to, it would definitely be the number one at McDonald's, man. Big Mac Trio. Big Mac, fries, Coke, with ice. Yes. Love that shit. Tremendous. Forget Tim Hortons. Doug Hepburn says, Gord Downey echoed that, Dave. He said, we are more than just Timmies in hockey. You know what else I don't like that's very Canadian? The Tragically Hip. All those goddamn songs sound the same. It's like, come on, man. I get it. Rest in peace to the guy. Seems like a nice, lovely man, whatever. But, like, I'm not into that music. I'll take Drake over Tragically Hip all day, every day. You want to talk Canadian music? I'm not interested in Tragically Hip. I know they're from Kingston and all, Doug. I mean, no offense. I'm sure they're big where you're from, but, like, I mean, they're big here in Montreal. A lot of people like them, but I don't. I am not interested in that. A lot of Canadian shit I don't like. A lot of Canadian shit I do like. Like fucking Olivier Aubin, Montreal fighter who won tonight at PFL. Shout out to Olivier, the Canadian gangster. That's his fucking nickname, all right? The Canadian gangster, Olivier Aubin. That's a bad motherfucker right there. That's some Canadian shit I do like. And I just got reminded that Rory McDonald is fighting tonight for PFL. There's another Canadian I like. I support Canadians. I support Canada. I love my country. I'm a true patriot. But I just don't like that stereotypical Canadian shit, you know? You feel me? I like Kenny Omega. I don't care so much for Sidney Crosby. You dig?
Well, I think Bret Hart would kind of be in that category too, though. No, like,
Yeah. Bret Hart is a god, man.
yeah, but a lot of people would be like, that's stereotypical kind of thing. Like,
Well,
if you
Canadian
like
wrestling fan.
wrestling,
I'm a stereotypical
yeah,
Canadian wrestling fan in that I love Bret Hart and all things Harts, and I worship the Harts. Speaking of, you can see my interview with Bruce Hart on the channel right now, available on the Ringside Report Network. If you haven't checked that out, you're missing out. Doug
well, we got
Hepburn
main event
says.
time.
Doug Hepburn says he's canceling his Ringside Report membership, the hip forever. I'm sorry, Doug. I mean, don't cancel. Stay on the team. I'm just not a fan. It's just not my style of music, you know? It's not my style. I don't like that kind of rock music. I'm trying to find this fucking PFL on TSN. TSN's got 1 million channels. What is this? CFL. They got goddamn MLS soccer. What is this? TSN is like, hey, you want to see some B-League sports? This is what we fucking have. There's a PFL. Is that Rory
I was going to say,
already?
I thought it was another.
Is this the main event? No. Rory's not here yet. Okay. Yeah, main event in AEW. Sorry, John. Britt Baker versus Red Velvet. I don't care about this match because I know Britt's going to win. It's their hometown. It's Red Velvet. Like, come on.
Great reaction.
Yeah, she's
I
over.
can't hear it, but yeah, she's over like crazy. Got the rally towels going. Like, you don't see that too much in wrestling.
Yeah, well, it's a Pittsburgh thing, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers, they got the terrible towels. That's just what they're doing. Except it's for Britt Baker. It's it's gimmick infringement from football. It's what they do. A lot of pro wrestling fans, pro wrestling companies in the States like to jump on the football bandwagon whenever they can. Stadium Stampede and so on.
Wow. I mean, Tony Khan owns the Jaguars, so it makes sense. Like,
yeah. There's Magomed Karamov fighting Sadibu C right now for PFL. This guy Magomed Karamov, such a good name. His name is Magomed Karamov. Like, his first name is Magomed, and his last name is Magomed Karamov. Fantastic. He's like a Khabib-style fighter, kicking major ass right now.
Whenever you can have your first and last name as the same, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. You should call yourself Johnny.
It doesn't sound as good, though.
I don't know. Johnny's pretty good.
Like Dave, it's not that good.
I'll take it. I'm Dave from now on. Oh, Bellator's doing fights too. Gegard is fighting tonight as well. Gegard Mousasi. Goddamn lot of MMA happening tonight. And pro wrestling. I've got a MMA fight in front of me, another MMA fight in front of me, and I got the AEW Rampage in front of me. I got a lot going on here, Johnny North. It's very busy. Very busy night. Smackdown tonight.
It's only Friday, too.
It's like too busy. Oh, yeah, Celine Dion. I like Celine, too. I think she's fantastic. God bless Celine. I went to see Celine in concert back when we had concerts, 2019, I think it was. Fucking magical. That woman can sing, man. Holy shit. Like, I'm not like the biggest Celine Dion fan, but I mean, I figured, go see her. It's fucking Celine. I kind of went as half a joke, but half real. And it was fun, man. It was good. Had a little red wine at the Bell Center, watched a little Celine. The crowd for Celine is like a different vibe, too. It's not the same crowd as like a Jay-Z concert, you know? A lot of older mom types.
Yeah, older, yes.
Yeah. It was great. It's like going to a concert with like 1 million of your aunts. It's fantastic. Anyways, Britt Baker is wrestling Red Velvet right now. Shinsuke Nakamura became the new Intercontinental Champion, beating Apollo Crews tonight, hitting a Kinshasa for the 3 count. Is Apollo Crews going to drop the Nigerian accent and lose Commander Aziz? Does the whole gimmick fall apart now? I feel like they have completely lost hope with Apollo. This was the reboot. This was the attempt. If they're both fired within the month, wouldn't be surprised. They gave up.
I don't know if they gave up. I mean, he's going to wrestle him again, more than likely at SummerSlam. I could see him win it right back. I don't think he's not done yet, especially the gimmick. I mean, maybe, yeah, he's not the champion anymore, but I could see them go for the tag team titles, especially if the Mysterios win them back.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I could see them dropping this whole thing. I mean, don't forget where Apollo Crews was before he was Intercontinental Champion. They tried it. They ran with it. It didn't work. I could see him being disappeared. Right? It's happened before. People have had little runs. They try. It's like a new gimmick. It doesn't really work out. Then they get disappeared. You never see them again. They're in catering for a while, maybe on main events, and then they get fired. I hope that doesn't happen to Apollo Crews. I'm just saying, like, WWE hasn't had the best track record with this guy. This is his biggest run, and it's fizzled miserably. It just is. It's what it is, right?
Well, I think a lot depends on the former Dabba-Kato, I think. Because, like, that team can only be so much if he's limited, right? So if he can't do more than just, like, the usual, punch-kick stuff, then, yeah, that's going to hurt them, I think, a lot. I think Apollo's great, though.
Yeah, he's very good in the ring, but, like, have the promos worked? He didn't work with an American accent. I don't think the Nigerian accent has helped.
It's tough to say right now, I think, because like we just had crowds back, so it's really hard to gauge if people were over or not,
Did it work for you?
I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I know some people were.
Really?
Yeah, some people actually liked it. It was something different, because like he wasn't really showing personality before.
Right.
You may not like the personality he showed, but at least he was showing something,
It's odd. He developed a new accent. Like,
right.
That doesn't happen in real life. It's bizarre.
Well, the Baron Corbin thing's also bizarre and doesn't make any sense, and I think that's also like ridiculous, but for some reason people seem to like it. I don't know why anyone would like something
Nobody
such
likes
ridiculous storyline.
I mean, it's a joke.
People actually do.
They're laughing
But
at
people
Corbin.
actually like
it's
it.
funny. It's funny.
People think it's the best thing he's ever done.
Well, that's possible. Promo-wise, it might be. But it's still Baron Corbin. Kevin Owens beat him tonight. Mysterios beat the Dirty Dogs. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Poor Robert Roode. Dominic was getting distracted by the Usos, who appeared on the big screen taunting the Mysterios. And then Ray was telling Dominic to focus and pay attention on your opponent. Robert Roode winds up hitting Rey Mysterio off the apron. Dominic then rolls up Robert Roode. 1, 2, 3. The Usos' distraction didn't even work, and the Mysterios get the win. Weird kind of half friction between Ray and Dominic, and it seems like Dominic knows best. I didn't understand what was going on there. And Roode and Ziggler don't look good in the process.
Well, it seemed like, because if you heard the promo, Dominic talked about how, like, oh, we got this. Like, we were chance of 4. We can beat them again. We got their number. And Ray was like, don't be cocky. But now that they won, after, like, Ray told him, like, hey, like, keep your head on straight, the fact that Dominic was able to overcome it despite the distraction is going to make Dominic more cocky, I think. And this might actually push us toward, like, a Dominic heel turn, possibly, which I think would be a great thing.
Right. Turn on his dad and do that whole thing.
I don't know about turn on his dad, but just be a jerk.
But at a certain point, if he does turn heel, his dad's not going to be on board, right?
Right, but it's his dad. Like his dad should still love him, right?
No.
Conflict.
No.
Wow. Watch out, Zev. Watch out for
Well,
the
no,
old
he
Zev.
would never be as awful as Dominic Mysterio. I mean, he's already a better wrestler. Much better. So, better
By the way-
promos. Much more handsome, too. I mean, are you kidding me? My son compared to Ray's
yeah.
son? My son's way more handsome.
Of course.
He's 4.
But why did they say Dominic was 21?
I don't know. Is he not? He's like 25, right?
He's 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why lie about his age when everyone can find it? Like,
Because if
I
you
don't get
lie
it.
about his age, he looks more impressive. Because when you find out he's 24 and then compare him to like MJF, you're like, oh shit, they're the same age and MJF is like way better. That's why. Because for a 24-year-old, he's not that good. People are like, oh, he's young and no. It's like, no, there are guys his age in pro wrestling that are far better. He's not that good. It's not that he's young. It's just that he's not good. Maybe he will be good later. He will improve, hopefully, but like he's just not great right now. And he looks like a child. I think that's why they made him younger, because he looks like a kid. Britt Baker just got Red Velvet to tap out. She is still the AEW Women's Champion. Never any doubt. Britt attacks Red Velvet a little bit after the match as well. Is she going to curb stomp her on the belt? Oh, she was going to, but Chris Statlander makes the save. Like I was saying to you on Wednesday, Statlander versus Britt makes sense. Oh, who just attacked Statlander? Who is that? Oh, it's Jamie Hayter.
we haven't seen her in a long time.
No. And no one recognized her. She comes out, they're like, who is that? And then Excalibur's like, I think that's Jamie Hayter. And I'm like, who's Jamie Hayter? So Statlander tried to stop Britt and attack Britt from beating up Red Velvet. And then Hayter stopped Statlander. And now Britt just hit the curb stomp on Red Velvet on top of the belt. And Hayter seems to be in Britt's corner now. Whatever happened to Rebel? Where's Rebel? Okay.
Well, she was injured, Rebel, right? Like she
Oh.
had like a crutch, so I guess she doesn't go in the ring.
Who's Jamie
Kind of stays on
Hayter?
the outside.
Who is this?
If I remember correctly, she was in like the first couple of early episodes of AEW. I don't know if she ever made it to Dynamite, but she was like I think on the first pay-per-view possibly, or like Fight for the Fallen or something like that.
Okay.
I think she was in like a battle. Did they have the battle royal at the pay-per-view All Out? I think the first All Out.
I'm not really sure who she is, man. This is not a great way to finish your debut episode. They better have Punk next week, because this was a terrible finish. Hey, there's a mystery woman here to help Britt Baker, and it's somebody we've heard of, kind of. We're not really sure. What a surprise! Wah, wah. Kind of a dud surprise. No offense to Jamie Hayter, I just don't know who the fuck she is.
Well, they obviously see something in her, I guess. So wait and see. But it was mainly, I think, to get the crowd happy. The crowd went home happy, right? They were super happy that Britt won, and Britt left everyone laying. Doesn't matter if it's face or heels; they're happy that Britt's on top. So
clearly a heel, though, and she's getting a very positive reaction on a massive heel move like this. Do you want to show the TV audience, who might not even know the Britt's from Pittsburgh, that like, yeah, this is a heel and she's getting cheered? Because then it kind of it conditions the audience to continue cheering her even when she is supposed to be booed. You know what I mean?
I think if you're watching this, though, you are, I imagine, like a decent hardcore fan of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because you knew to stay up this late, so.
Well, on TNT, it was just on TV. You might have I don't know. Street Profits beat the Alpha Academy. Dawkins got the pin on Gable after Montez did this
awkward.
crazy dive. That dive by Montez
Kind of
was
missed.
completely missed. I mean, what the hell?
Not
Otis is a pretty
completely.
big target.
He caught a piece of him.
Yeah, a piece
That's
of
about
him.
it.
Not much,
Yeah.
right? Not much.
And they showed the replay of it too. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
Because it was so crazy looking. It looked like Montez got hurt on it, maybe. I don't like the Alpha Academy losing to the Street Profits here, but I feel like they're doing this to set up the Street Profits for the Usos. The only reason to have the Street Profits win is to get them set up because Rey and Dominic aren't going to win at SummerSlam. They're not going to take the titles back from the Usos, and the Street Profits are going to be the next challengers for the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Titles.
It's possible, but I could also see the Street Profits against the Mysterios as well. They could easily do that match.
Babyface
It
on
works both
babyface?
ways. Yeah, because like you're kind of hinting that Dominic might go heel, so
I guess.
that could work.
With the Usos versus the Mysterios official for SummerSlam, I think we could pretty much count out a Raw Tag Team title match at SummerSlam. I think it'll be Randy versus Riddle at SummerSlam, not Randy and Riddle versus AJ and Omos. What do you think? After Randy RKO'd Riddle at the end of the show, it seems like, well, Randy is going to be Randy. Like, he might RKO you, but Riddle might just be such a pathetic man that he's willing to let himself get RKO'd just to be friends with Randy. That seems to be a possibility. But I feel like Riddle's going to be mad and want to wrestle Randy one-on-one at SummerSlam. Again. Because let's not forget, the beginning of this whole thing was a one-on-one match where Riddle beat Randy, and then Randy gained respect for Riddle through that, and they began to team. The rematch was inevitable. I just thought they'd have a little bit of a longer run as a tag team. Doesn't look like they're going to be teaming together at SummerSlam, though, right?
Well, I mean, looking at it, I guess they need bigger like singles matches. That's a decent match, I guess, on paper. So why not? Though I don't know. I would have liked to see that tag match, but maybe they're just not completely sold on AJ and Omos. I think. I mean, the last pay-per-view, like you saw, there was improvements, but it's still a very slow-moving process here. It seems with that team.
I feel like they're trying to keep them together to eventually break up and have Omos like turn babyface on AJ, and then Omos. This is the teaching of Omos, working him into the fold. At first, he was just standing behind AJ, standing ringside for AJ, watching him wrestle, and then eventually he started teaming with AJ, and then eventually I think he's going to start wrestling AJ, and this is going to be how he learns to be a WWE wrestler, watching, teaming, and watching, and then eventually learning by wrestling AJ one-on-one in the ring. I think that they are eventually going in that direction with AJ and Omos, so if you take the tag team titles off of them now, you can't really go in that direction because, their tag team would kind of be over or a lack of reason for being, right? So I think, you don't take the titles off of them here at SummerSlam, and if you put Riddle and Randy against them, you kind of have to take the titles off of them. So instead of doing the whole angle where Riddle and Randy get a run as tag team champions and eventually break up and feud, they're going to stick with AJ and Omos doing that story, and Riddle and Randy are just going to feud. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But WWE,
Also,
you never know.
It's better to have like champions that have long reigns. It kind of makes it mean something when they lose the championships. And I'm expecting we're going to have some decent amount of title changes at SummerSlam. So do you really need another one where it's just like, well, another one that just happened? Doesn't make it as big of a deal when they finally actually lose them.
We'll see what happens. I don't think AJ and Omos are going to even defend the titles here at SummerSlam. They're just going to keep on going. Doug Hepburn thought that Jamie Hayter was Becky Lynch And Derek John says he thinks that they wanted people to think it was Becky. Do you think that that was the intention there? Because she came in with a hat on, got a black T-shirt, similar hair under the hat, I guess. I didn't think that it was Becky Lynch at all. I wasn't expecting Becky to show up in AEW. I didn't get that impression. Do you think that that's what they're going for?
You know, I have to listen to the commentary and the way they were trying to describe it. I mean, maybe they were trying to throw people off in that way. I didn't feel that from what I saw, but I wasn't listening, so maybe it's possible, but I didn't feel it by seeing what they did.
Yeah. Me neither. So the matches on SmackDown tonight, very limited. Nakamura beating Apollo Crews. Nakamura, new Intercontinental Champion. That's really the biggest news to come out of SmackDown. Street Profits beating the Alpha Academy. Mysterio's beating Rude and Ziggler. And Kevin Owens over Baron Corbin. We had a bunch of promos as well. Seth Rollins cut a promo. We had a contract signing between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. What's the matter, John? You didn't like the Seth Rollins promo talking about Edge and how Seth has had a better career than Edge, and he didn't. And Edge is jealous because Seth has had a better career than him, and Seth didn't curb stomp him in 2014 because he didn't want to hurt him too badly. But now that Edge is back and costing him titles and getting in his way, now he's going to end his career at SummerSlam. Wasn't great.
Also, I'm a fan of when you start kind of promo and we cut to a video package. Seems to be the normal trend they always do. And to me, it just kind of kills a lot of the momentum of the promo. When you're just doing, well, let's go to this recap. Let's go to this montage kind of thing. Like, it's hard to really get invested in what people are saying when you're just telling a story pretty much or recapping a story. And then pretty much giving us what you've said before in past promos just in different ways. It just felt like nothing new from Seth Rollins here.
And it took forever.
Yep.
Took forever. Baron Corbin has stolen the Money in the Bank briefcase. He was all sad after losing to Kevin Owens. Backstage, saw Big E, saw the briefcase, and ran away with it. Did Big E not chase him at all? Did he just let him go? What happened there?
Well, I mean, you can steal something like that, but he can't cash in, though.
So Big E's just going to let him?
Well, he has to give it back to him, no? Like, he can't use it, so what's the point of stealing it?
I don't know. Miz seemed to steal it a bunch from Otis, and eventually it just became Miz's.
It did. Like, maybe they're going to have a match, I guess, possibly. Maybe that's Big E's match for SummerSlam. Not a great match, but I guess it gives them something to do.
Or maybe they've fallen in love with this Baron Corbin thing so much, and, you know, they've decided they have nothing for Big E. They're going to switch it. Done it before.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that. That'd be pretty rough if they did that.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened. Crazier things have happened, so wait and see, but they shouldn't do that.
No, they really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. Good God. And then finally, the Sasha Banks contract signing with the Sonya Deville. Bianca says Sasha is petty and jealous. Sasha calls Bianca a bitch. Sonya wants him to stay calm, and she's like, these things always get out of hand. I don't want anything to go wrong. And it's like, come on. It's a contract signing. It's the main event of SmackDown. Something's going to go wrong. Shut up, Sonya Deville. She's not a good authority figure. Like, she's not good or convincing or authoritative or just interesting. She's not fun to watch on TV. I am not interested in watching Sonya Deville do whatever she's doing. I don't like it.
I'm kind of indifferent. To me, it just feels like they have someone who's Paige again, pretty much. And it's funny because she used to team with Paige. But
I'd rather see Paige.
Paige had more charisma.
Yeah.
No question about that.
More energy.
Yeah. Better wrestler, too.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know.
Paige is what you get. Paige is a legend, a future Hall of Famer, and somebody I respect as a great wrestler, as a great champion. Sonya Deville is not that accomplished in pro wrestling. She's kind of a low-level wrestler in WWE who's now an authority figure for no reason in particular, other than I guess WWE likes her and they have nothing for her as a wrestler. I don't think it's a matter of her not being able to wrestle anymore. It's just they don't want her to, which says a lot. When you're a wrestler and they're like, nah, we're good. Just do what Adam Pearce is doing. He'll teach you how to do that. All we have is Adam Pearce to be our authority figure, and he's like the authority figure on all the shows. So, like, maybe you do some of that because, like, I don't know. We can't fire you. It's bad press. So we'll just, keep you around. We don't want you in the ring. It's kind of sad.
Well, tonight was an improvement, though, because we didn't get to see any bad women's wrestling tonight. I think that really dragged down SmackDown the last couple of weeks, so we had some really bad women wrestling.
Yeah.
So just keeping it to a contract signing, probably the best move to make. Although, again, I think a little ridiculous. I made this complaint. They're like, oh, Sasha's finally getting her rematch, where it's like, didn't they get rid of that, where you automatically get a rematch for your title that you lose? Yet, now apparently you get that back again.
Is there an automatic rematch, or is it just because it's Sasha?
I felt like that they implied, anyways, that it's like, well, she gets her rematch finally. Meaning that she should always get her rematch because she was the champion before.
I don't know. I thought it was just because she's Sasha and Sonya loves Sasha. I don't know. When Sonya starts talking, I just lose interest. She's just like, I glaze over, I lose it. I lose it. So Sasha wanted witnesses for the contract signing. Carmella and Zelina Vega show up, and Bianca knows what's up. She starts attacking everybody, but eventually they get the upper hand, and the three heels beat down on Bianca, and Sasha applies the bank statement using Bianca's braid for leverage, and she's just talking shit and putting the bank statement on to end SmackDown. I don't know. I like Sasha and Bianca, but this segment sucked. Terrible way to end SmackDown. Even when they started showing it, I was like, we're really ending with a contract signing? The promo wasn't good. The beatdown wasn't vicious or interesting. Jack shit happened there. They should have ended the show with the Cena Roman promo because that was much better. This thing was garbage.
Right, the show felt like it was in reverse. Like, the best stuff was the first, and then it progressively got worse as the show went on. It's like the order should have been the other way around.
Yeah. It did progressively get worse. You are right. It started with that Cena Roman promo, which was by far the best thing on the show. And then we had Shinsuke and Apollo, best match on the show. And then Street Profits and Alpha Academy was all right, but shit just got worse. And a Seth Rollins promo, Mysterios against Dirty Dogs, Baron Corbin promo, Kevin Owens versus Baron Corbin, and then the contract signing. I had much more fun watching an hour of AEW Rampage than I did Friday Night SmackDown. AEW wins again. They win a lot.
I wouldn't say wins.
Well, they won the night. Who had the better wrestling show? What show had the better match? AEW wins again.
Well, I mean, they kind of were pushing it because this was their first ever kind of show. This is a big deal for them. SmackDown was just another regular SmackDown kind of show. So Rampage kind of needed to be a big deal for that. And even then, I mean, when you think about it, it was just that one match, really.
Yeah, but it was Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. It was pretty good.
Won't deny that. Definitely the best thing I saw tonight, but don't know if that makes it the best show. And, they got to keep that going, Rampage. That's not going to be easy to make it good every week like that.
Did you not think it was the better show overall?
I thought, again, it felt like SmackDown, where it's like we saw the best thing right away, and progressively it didn't get much better.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. But I enjoyed. I don't know about that. I guess Britt Baker Red Velvet versus the Sasha Banks Bianca contract signing. I got relatively as much satisfaction out of both segments. Not that much. I think I like the Britt Baker thing a bit more, but not by much. You're not wrong.
Well, I mean, the only really difference is like one show's 2 hours, the other one's an hour, really. That's what the main thing was. One was kind of a lot longer.
Yeah.
One was mainly a recap thing, and Dynamite, they don't really recap that much, so it feels like there's a lot of action because they have to make do with the 1 hour they have, right? So,
Yeah. But,
we'll
that
see.
Christian Kenny match stole the night. It stole the night. We didn't see any segment or anything as good as that. The John Cena Roman Reigns
Definitely.
promo did rival it. Like, it was really good, too. I think John Cena, Roman Reigns are the MVPs for SmackDown tonight for sure. But Christian and Kenny got to be the MVPs for AEW. Killer match of the night. Best segment that we saw tonight. And now there's some MMA going on. Gegard Mousasi is fighting John Salter for the Bellator middleweight title. Gegard defending his title right now. They're in the second round. And now Rory McDonald is walking into the PFL cage to fight Ray Cooper III in the semifinal of the PFL welterweight tournament. Magomed Karamov just punched his ticket. He got a decision victory. He's going to be in the finals. So the winner of this fight, Cooper versus McDonald, is in the finals here against Magomed. Ray Cooper III, the 2019 winner of this tournament. Big shit going on in MMA right now. Two big main events happening. Gegard Mousasi and Rory McDonald fighting at the same time. If you're a fight fan, I mean, you can't help but love this. Gegard and Rory fighting at the same time. I remember when Gegard fought Rory in Bellator. Gegard was too big for him. Beat him up bad. Beat him real bad. TKO in the second round. Beat the shit out of him. Gegard way too big for Rory McDonald in that fight. That was really a size difference. Gegard's a middleweight who's fought at light heavyweight. Rory he's a welterweight. He shouldn't fight at middleweight. He's a 170 fighter. And I'm going to go watch the fights, John. I think we're done here.
Sounds like a plan.
Harold Schneider wasn't aware that we were on YouTube for another show. What show was... Yeah, we're on every Monday. We are on the post-Raw show. Myself and my brother, the Simon Brothers, every single Monday night after Raw. This Tuesday, we had a special show that we dropped, my interview with Bruce Hart, one of Brett and Owen's brothers, one of Stu and Helen's kids, one of the Hart brothers, Bruce. Guy's been in the wrestling business his entire life, still in the wrestling business. In-depth conversation with Bruce Hart on the channel right now. Wednesday night after Dynamite, Johnny and I were live, as we are live every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite to recap that. Last night I was on with AJ and Freddie, Ringside Report MMA boys, talking about all the UFC action that you can handle. And then tonight, of course, after SmackDown, and now during Rampage, we do the Rampage SmackDown Wrestling Uncensored Super Show every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So that is the full slate. We are on all the time, constantly. All the wrestling shows, we're here for you. Right?
What a week.
Big week. It's been a crazy week, and I'm going to go kick back. I think I'm going to take a little break ski this weekend. Nothing going on this weekend, thank goodness. Next weekend, we got SummerSlam. We'll be on right after SummerSlam on a Saturday night. Saturday, the 21st of August. Next Saturday, we will be on as we are after every WWE and AEW pay-per-view. We also do watch-alongs for all the UFC pay-per-views. But we don't do watch-alongs for PFL main events. So I'm going to go watch this and enjoy it. All right, Johnny? Gegard Mousasi on top of John Salter now, beating the brakes off of him. Wow, big ground and pound. The referee's letting him stay in there, but Gegard fucking him up. Go Gegard. I'm a big Gegard fan. And that's about it. I'll be back here Monday night after Raw. Thank you to everybody for checking in. Thank you to Douglas Hepburn. You are the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you to Harold Schneider for dropping a Super Chat as well. Appreciate you guys supporting the Ringside Report Network. Harold Schneider, Doug Hepburn, Derek John, Franco 316. I'm seeing all you guys in the chat, members of the team. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network. We do appreciate it. We are in that Baron Corbin category. We need your help. All right? We need your help. We didn't get those $1,000 donations tonight like Baron Corbin did. Maybe if I beat Kevin Owens in some sort of fight, I could get $1,000. Does that challenge open to anybody to accept?
I don't believe he made $1,000, but whatever.
We call AJ. AJ, $1,000 for you. Easy peasy. Easy money, baby. All right. That's it. I'll be back Monday for more. I'm going to go watch Rory McDonald fight Ray Cooper. Don't forget to like this video. I see more people watching right now that have liked this video. So hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Do all the things. It helps us out. Subscribing, liking the video. If you're not going to drop a super chat, you're not going to become a member. Hey, you could just like the video. It costs you nothing, and it helps us out a great deal with the algorithm getting us seen by more people so we can keep doing these kinds of shows for you. Okay? Okay, Johnny? Get some merch.
Sounds good.
Merch.ringsidereport.net. This cup here is I'm drinking. You could drink out of the same cup if you go to merch.ringsidereport.net. See this coffee mug? It's a Wrestling Uncensored coffee mug I'm drinking out of, Johnny. You see that? It's the same logo as you see on the screen. Wrestling Uncensored. This is the official shit. Merch.ringsidereport.net. Drink out of the same shit that Dave drinks out of. You'll be cool like me, okay? Love you all. See you all later.